Hey, it's Clay at claycharter.com. This will be my top 10 stocks as we head into Friday, October 29th. This will be a technical analysis breakdown. So if you're someone that uses charts within your trading, or maybe you're just new, interested in learning more about charts and how they can be used to help make good decisions as a trader, this will be a video for you. Real quick before I get started, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online class that I'm offering. So if you're liking what you see as I go through the video and you want to learn more about technical analysis and how it can be used to build consistency, then definitely get signed up for the class. With that being said, I do realize that because it's live and it's actually happening this evening, then if you already have stuff on your schedule, I totally understand it if it's too last minute, but still drop me an email, clay at claychart.com, and I'd be happy to send you a recording of it since it will be recorded. Or if you're watching this Friday morning, for example, and you've already missed it, again, still just drop me an email and I'll be happy to send you a recording of it. So just keep that in the back of your mind. If you can make it live, then definitely get signed up. But if not, it will be recorded and I'd be happy to send that to you because I do understand that maybe it's too last minute, or if it's watching Friday morning, well then yeah, you obviously already missed it. First one, ticker symbol LCID, and what an absolutely monster day today. Just looking at volume. I mean, volume has always been respectable, but today's volume took things up a whole nother level and then some. And then the good news here is that the price has at least pulled back. And because if you're anything like me, there's always that concern out there is, I don't know, am I suffering from FOMO, fear of missing out? Am I chasing the price? But in this situation, nobody could accuse you of chasing the price because there has been this pullback. Now, the people that bought right there, yeah, they're probably pretty nervous right now. They suffered from FOMO and they chased the price. But at this point, it has pulled back. So from a risk reward standpoint, things have definitely taken a better shape because you don't have to worry about buying the top. Now that doesn't mean that if you buy right now, it's for sure going to work out. I'm not saying that. But what I am saying is, it's not like you would be having formed any bad habits by chasing the price or anything of that nature. So on that note, the first level of support that stands out to me, which the price bounced from a couple times here, right down there at $33. So that's going to be a key area of support. And then from more of the overarching standpoint, keep an eye on that purple line right there, the 50-period moving average. As the name implies, that line is going to move itself higher and higher. So it's basically like a trend line that draws itself for you. So keep an eye on that. And from the overarching standpoint, as long as the price is above that 50-period moving average, then the bulls are 100% in charge of the current trend. As far as areas of resistance, seems as though the main level going to be right up. Actually, let's change that. This main level going to be right up there at, let's call it 38.75. So 38.75 going to be that key battleground area. But all in all, anyway, look at it. Monster volume, monster momentum, but you did get the pullback. So let's see if the price can continue to build upon the trend on Friday. I should have noted with the first stock, but what I'm doing is a 30-minute time frame. So for those of you that are maybe new, all 30 minutes means instead of each one of these candlesticks representing maybe a day, which is what you normally see, each one represents 30 minutes worth of time. And also the market is still open for a few more moments. So yeah, these candles over here are still changing. But at this point, what I want to talk about has pretty much been established. However, METX, as you can see here, very, very impressive afternoon. Volume dropped off quite a bit, but then this afternoon right there, volume showed back up in a big way, and the prices reacted nicely with it. But the nice thing here is that there's now a very well-defined area of resistance right here at that trend line right there. And I can assure you a lot of people have drawn that trend line, and I make that comment because when a lot of people are drawing the same things, trend lines or whatever, and watching and wondering the same things, call it a self-fulfilling prophecy, call it whatever you want. It can produce some very big movements. So while nothing is guaranteed, my point here is that it's a plausible thought process that if the price consolidates, turns back up, and then eventually gets that trend line break, that break right there could very well create that much more momentum. Again, not a guarantee, but by no means is that some sort of irrational thought process to go through. As far as levels of support are concerned, key level to watch if there's any sort of pullback here, going to be right there around the 54-cent mark. But all in all, I think a whole lot of people are going to be watching that trend line, especially, when this one was pretty much the king of penny stocks today. So you got to think that a lot of people will be watching that very closely. Next one, AMC, and not a whole lot to talk about other than the fact that AMC made a little bit of progress today, but it unfortunately did pull back. But within the pullback is also where we'll call it the silver lining lies, because at least on the pullback here, it didn't break new lows. In fact, it actually put in higher lows. So if you compare that set of lows with the lows from Wednesday there is higher lows, which is now given the ability to do this. And, all turnarounds have to start somewhere. But the price now has actually built itself an uptrending trend line like that. So it's, in my mind, that's a very important level. That's a very revealing level to watch moving forward, because that's going to start to tell us, all right, can the price at least maintain this trajectory? It's not like the price has to shoot straight upwards. I mean, that would probably be the most enjoyable way to go about it. But over time, slow and steady, and quote unquote slow and steady being defined as staying above that trend line right there. So let's see if the price can continue to maintain above there. As far as areas of resistance, nothing has changed. 35.75, that red line there, which I've talked about in past videos, you can see ultimately acted as resistance today, so continue to watch that. But like I said, to look at the silver lining, there is now this uptrending trend line in place. So the big question mark moving forward over the next several days is, can the price stay above it? Let's see what happens. Next one, ticker symbol PLUG, and big monster move on this one, but also like LCID, got the pullback at least. So clearly big surge in momentum there, but now the price has pulled back here. So it's not like you have to, I don't know, am I chasing the momentum? Am I suffering from FOMO? Nothing like that. Just to reiterate, just because it's pulled back doesn't mean that it's for sure going to be a guaranteed trade, but at least it's eliminated one, big worry of, I don't know, could I potentially be buying the top, be, chasing that momentum? So from that angle of things are looking very nice here, because it's always good to know that there is momentum present and that, the stock does have the ability to move very quickly, as this one demonstrated today. So as far as levels of support are concerned, key level to watch, which didn't quite hit today, but going to be that former breakout point right there around $35.50. And then as far as areas of resistance are concerned, depending on how you want to do it, if you just want to focus on 38.50 as the main area, or if you want to get, for you, those of you that like to play trend lines, got a pretty steep trend line right there that you could keep a close eye on. But that's totally just personal preference, how you would want to approach defining, the attempted turnaround there. But like I said, from an overarching concept, the core principles are there. Big volume, nice momentum, got the pullback. So let's see how things play out on Friday. Next one, ticker symbol F for Ford. And I like this one just because it's very, very well defined. And, the setup is quite straightforward, right? Got the big gap up today. So big gap up, price is now pulled back, but within pulling back has formed a very clear channel, very well-defined levels. So there was a couple ways you could approach it. You could look at playing some sort of potential bounce right around 1670. You also know that there's going to be shorts watching that level in shorts, and rightfully so. While it's not guaranteed to work for them, it's a plausible thought process, but they're going to be thinking, well, if 1670 breaks, that could create some downwards momentum. So, there's going to be a bunch of eyeballs watching that one, both longs and shorts, everybody in between. And then, what I really like from just a breakout standpoint is a very, very well-defined top area of resistance right there at $17. I mean, you can see time and time again today, the price got up around that area and could never quite push through it. So no guarantees, but it is valid to think, it is plausible to think that if the price gets up there, breaks up through it, that break could create some nice upwards momentum and, very realistically potentially carry it back up to that 1760 mark, if not even higher. But all in all, gotta like Ford, if anything, just for the simplicity of the pattern and how well defined these areas are. Next one, FCEL, and same concept, which is kind of bizarre that we're getting all these kind of general concepts here, but we'll go through it once again. I won't spend too much time on it. Big move up. So the momentum is present. There's good solid volume, but now you have the pullback here. So it's really just a question of, hey, is this pullback healthy? And the quickest way to, in my mind, to answer that question on if this is a healthy pullback or maybe the beginning of the end is right down there at $7.30. Because think about it, and I'm not saying this will occur, but if the price were to come down to $7.30 and then break down through it, what would that be doing to the price? That would quite literally be putting the price right back inside of this range that it just broke out from. And I mean, not to insult your intelligence, but price movements that explode upwards to then just go right back to where they were, not exactly a sign of true strength. But as long as the price can stay above 730, that would imply this would be the set of lows, which you compare it to that set. And if you envision those as stair steps, you would still have stair steps progressing in the upwards direction. So in other words, in my opinion, is this a healthy pullback or not? Well, as long as the price is making progress, then in my mind, that is healthy. Again, well, how are you defining quote unquote progress? And that's the great thing about charts is they allow you to take words and sound bites and actually make them very visual and very quantifiable. So again, in this situation, health pullback being quantified as $7.30. In terms of areas of resistance, main level to watch going to be right there at $7.80. Next one, IFRX. And yeah, you're getting the idea here, but nice move up, got the pullback, and now is this just a healthy little pullback here? We'll see what happens. But like Ford, some very well-defined areas. So from the resistance standpoint, the level that really stands out to me is going to be right up here around $4.30. Now, I would not say this is as well-defined as Ford. I mean, Ford made it very, very clear. But, generally speaking, right around $4.30, in my mind, is going to be that key kind of potential reversal point right there. And then as far as areas of support are concerned, First key level to watch going to be right down there around $3.80. And then once again, you have that purple line there, which seems far away, but remember, that is a moving average. So as time goes by, that line will move higher and higher and get more and more relevant as Friday takes shape. But again, it's just a question of, all right, you're not chasing momentum. You're not, risking buying too high. You're potentially buying a healthy little pullback here. But if you want to see more proof that it's a healthy pullback and want to see it, first break above 430, then that would make sense. Or if you want to just see it pull back some more, I can also see that making sense. It's just a matter of personal risk tolerance. But again, the main ingredients are there. Big volume, big momentum, got the pullback. So let's see what happens with it. Next one, OCGN. Now this one is definitely different because, there hasn't really been any major pullbacks, but what I do like about it is we are now looking at a very well-defined resistance area right there. Once more, one of those trend lines where I assure you a lot of people have drawn that trend line, and they're going to be wondering, and rightfully so, if the price can break through that level, could that create some upwards momentum? Not guaranteed, but hey, you know what? It's a plausible thought process to have, and if enough people around the world are thinking the exact same thing, well then yeah, you could have some nice self-fulfilling prophecy that goes with it. So that's certainly going to be that main breakout area right around, let's call it $10.65, give or take a little bit. So keep an eye on that. And then as far as supports are concerned, check this out. The power of charts. Look how the price is respecting that purple line there, the 50-period moving average. Literally cruised above it. Right there, bounced off it once again. So that's, very clearly a respected area of support. Right now, the current value of that 50-period moving average is at 985. But again, the main dynamic here is all about that trend line, and can the price break through it? Let's see if Friday's the day. Next one here, NIO, and a completely different situation in the sense of there is no pullbacks. In fact, last 30 minutes of the day, the price actually got the breakout. So the breakout has already happened. So the big dynamic here is, okay, is this the start of something much bigger? Is this the leading indicator that there's that much more momentum to come? And can this, in technical jargon, get continuation? In other words, just continue with what it's been doing. Nobody knows that for sure. But my point here is it's now officially a plausible question to ask. And it's a good question because think about it. In order to ask this question, what first needed to even happen in the first place? Well, it needed to break out. So, that box has been checked. It's broken out. Now the next box just is simply, all right, is this the start of something bigger? And Friday will be very revealing for that with the next potential. So actually, let me just get rid of that. That served its purpose to illustrate that. But as far as the next key roadblock and potential problem point, going to be right up there at the $41 mark. And then if things get really crazy, next potential area up there right around $41.80. But like I said, the breakout has begun. Is there more to come? Is this the start of something much bigger? I think Friday will be very revealing in answering those questions. Next one, DWAC, still remains pretty popular out there. And, I've been following it because it hasn't been nearly as explosive, clearly as what that big move was. But recently it has just, been slow and steady like AMC, just building that uptrend. So I'm going to go ahead and change that to green once again to represent more of the bullish dynamic here. But in my mind, from an overall health perspective of the current chart, just watch that. It hasn't been flashy. Sure, there's been some big momentum movements, but within the grand scheme of things, it may feel like nothing's really going on, but that's just not true. In fact, as I'm talking, do we have ourselves a very well-defined channel? We do. Check that out. All right, that's cool. So let's actually change that to red to represent resistance there. And there we go. Nice upward sloping channel. So very clear right now that, this top part of the channel has rejected the price time and time again, but to be fair, the bottom part of this channel has supported the price time and time again. So really the quickest way and easiest way to to kind of describe DWAC is that on the 30-minute time frame, there's this nice upwards channel pattern here. So that's really what it's about. If you like to play channels, maybe it just does something like this, and you can play the channel all the way up. That all clearly remains to be seen. But yeah, interesting channel here. So it'll be interesting to see how the price continues to behave relative to each of these parts of that channel. So that wraps up the top 10. Again, if you like what you saw and if you want to learn more about this tool, how it should be used, how it can be used, how it should not be used in order to build consistency as a trader, then definitely get signed up for the class. Like I said, it'll be, depending on when you're watching this evening, Thursday, October 28th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But again, if it's too last minute, if you already have something on your schedule, or if you're watching this Friday, for example, and you've already missed it, then by all means, please drop me an email, clay@claytrader.com, as the event will be recorded, and I'd be happy to send that to you. So like I said, just drop me an email. As far as these top 10 videos are concerned, if you enjoy this format, if you would like for me to continue to make these videos, then let me know that. And you can do that by just hitting that like button and leaving a basic comment below, even if it's just saying hi, a ticker symbol that you traded today. But those two things go a long way in communicating to me that it's worth the time and effort to put these videos together. As long as I know that it's worth the time and effort, then I have no problem at all continuing to do them. So please do those two things, and your feedback is very much appreciated. And again, if you can make the class tonight, then hopefully I'll be seeing you here very soon. If not, still drop me an email, and I'd be happy to send you a recording of it. Everybody take care. Have a good one.